Communication is something that we all do, whether we like it or not, whether we try to or not. We're always communicating something. Sometimes we're consciously communicating, so we're able to know what we're trying to say or do, and we know kind of what we want and what we're aiming for, and we communicate with that aim. And often we're communicating from a subconscious level where our bodies are saying more than our mouths ever would. So physical communication is usually one of the first things people pick up on, even if they're not aware. Now, you can have an intellectual conversation where you're conversing with someone and you're speaking and sharing and they're speaking and sharing. You can have emotional conversations, communications with people where you're able to be seen and heard and understood, which can be highly beneficial for your well-being. Now, when we're not feeling safe, we are not in our prefrontal cortex. So we're coming from our survival brain, so we're coming from our subconscious brain, and we're acting in a less conscious way. We're not necessarily as aware of our thoughts, our words, our feelings, because when we're feeling threatened in some way, even when we're not aware of the threat, our bodies shut down, our minds shut down, and it takes us to that state of being physiologically where we're only able to put all our energies into staying safe, which might mean running away or fighting, or sometimes freezing, you know, like a mouse does. A cat that's playing with a mouse, the mouse freezes, pretends to be dead and drops. At which point its heart has slowed down to such an extent it can confuse the cat sometimes that it is dead, when it really isn't. That's our survival instinct. So when we're in our survival brain, our limbic brain, it's trying to keep us alive. The rest of our brain just isn't capable of coming online. We're not capable of thinking straight or feeling into the moment or communicating our wants and needs because we're too fucking scared. You know, and to our bodies and minds, a threat is a threat, and it depends what's connected to that threat. And sometimes it takes a lot of thinking and self-exploration, or exploring with a counsellor or mediator or meditator or mentor, to find out where the roots lie, because those roots are buried deep into our subconscious, and they've been created from experiences that we've had as a child, very often below the age of 7 years old. On top of that, it can be created after that, or reinforced. So what we learn as a young child can be reinforced as a young adult, and every day of our lives with what we think and feel might happen. And that is often the cause of great anxiety. Anxiety itself can prevent us communicating, which is why in many circumstances flashcards can really help. So we're able to say happy, sad without having to speak. And that's why it works really well for people with autism and people who are shutting down, because they're able to then have a way of stating what they need in the moment, which their body and mind wouldn't really allow. So in a situation where you're not able to communicate, it's really important, as soon as you notice it, to find a way to ground, to find a way to come back to the self and connect. So I'm going to share one way in which we can do that. What we do is we place our hand on our chest and we bring in all our attention back to the chest, back to the body. And we wait to feel our hand rising and falling on our chest. Notice that we're breathing. We're not putting any effort into breathing. It's done completely subconsciously. And we can feel our chest rising and falling. And we know that right here in this moment, it's okay. You can take it a little bit further if you like, and you can tap your chest. Just gentle hand taps. Hand taps help to soothe the body and mind and reset your parasympathetic nervous system, and are another way of telling your body you're safe.